Shana Tova, you guys. It's Spiritual New Year. Today was the grand finale of Rosh Hashanah, where we had our Spiritual New Year, where we've been basically in Judgment Day, we've been purified, and we have received our new soul. And over the course of the next, let's see, Yom Kippur is next week. So basically you can look it up, but until Yom Kippur, it's sort of like there's this sort of open, like the vessel, we've received the light, but the vessel's kind of open. And so it's up to us to kind of stay in that high state of elevated consciousness this week, to really have that new self, that higher self embodiment, and try not to short circuit. And so this week will test us. This is a week of still judgment through the different areas of our consciousness and soul. But just stay aware and be resilient and bounce back and try to pause during those moments and really observe, right? And observe the feeling without getting caught in the narrative, and let that healing come up, to purge, to mourn the old self, to watch the old self fall away. It's so interesting, and I was deeply moved watching all of the consciousness lectures throughout the weekend coming from the Kabbalah Center. But it's so funny because the message, the unifying message, was right in alignment with, like, the Rav and his wife. They kept talking about the same things that we've been talking about for the last 1.5 to 2 years on this channel, about really this being the year, the moment of leaving the past behind to such a degree that we're not moving forward. They like, we've been talking about the old movie, like the old series Life has come to a conclusion, and then it's like, we're in hiatus right now, but like Life, the new series, is getting picked up, and it's like, it's the same character you, but like you're a new person, and the old canon from the old like series doesn't apply anymore. It's like a new story. It's a whole new life. Like, we've jumped timelines, and it's not like an improvement of the old self anymore. It's like a whole new start, right? They went into that. They were like, and we remember how leading up to this moment, I was like, you know what? I think Rosh Hashanah is the big like portal where we like finally jump the timeline, because like this whole year we've been like, is it the beginning yet? Like, it doesn't feel like the story's really started. You know, we've been going through initiations, and then we've been coming online, and we've been on the launch pad, and we've been like, you know, it's turning on systems and building on, you know, to that, you know, little by little, test by test. And so now it's like we're on the launch pad, all systems go. Mission control is ready to launch. And so like, they were really pointing out that this Rosh Hashanah is like that too. They even said this isn't like a year where you pray to the creator that you'll have a better year than last year. Like, you're praying for the same thing, but just like better. It's like a whole new self. It's not praying for an improvement upon last year. It's like praying for a year that the creator has in store that we can't even fathom yet, because it's a whole new life. It's a whole new us. It's a whole new self that we haven't been before. Like, in order for the new consciousness to come in, we've got to let the old go. Like, the old can't come in. The new life can't come in and merge with the old life, essentially. Okay, so y'all, when I picked up the deck to start shuffling, I saw the duality card at the bottom of the deck. And I was like, wow, it's like the death of the old self. The old is behind us, and the new is ahead of us. And we are here in the central column in this moment. It's like, in the tree of life, there's 3 columns that make up the tree of life. Look at the scale back there. See, it's like the right side is the column of mercy. So when I'm looking at these cards, you might see it reversed because of like the camera, but when I'm looking at the right side, the flowery bluebird side is the right side. That's the side of mercy. The side of the left is the side of judgment, of death, of you know, difficult, you know, discipline and restriction for the sake of bringing what is in shadow into light, right? The bringing into balance of the two is the central column. This is the spine here, that spiritual ascension, right? I mean, even on a physical level, they have discovered so much about what is like, there's so much mystery in the spine, right? And in the spinal column, about how it like, it's like this channel for the circuitry and all of these things. So it's so interesting. But so it's like you can either go forward in this year and have the consciousness of mercy, of sharing, of life, of renewal, of being reborn, of walking into a new day, a new person, a higher self, obliterating the ego that causes death, that causes another cycle through that lesson again and again and again. More of those limiting beliefs holding you back, the negative self-talk that keeps you stuck over and over again. Which year are you choosing for yourself? We are walking forward now with a new soul, but we have to remember to keep and maintain the consciousness, to keep that, to maintain it. Otherwise, we'll go back into like that old muscle memory, into default setting. So we'll go ahead and take this out and put it to the side. So interesting. Oh, underneath that, God, right? That spinal column again, that central column, that central pillar, that structure that everything is built on. Our entire mobility, our entire capability is based on that healthy spine, right? So it's like our healthy connection with divine. It's like that's what we were establishing, right? That flow of cosmic connection, to make sure that we are in full connection with that the whole year. You know, some of the key points that were being talked about to take away from were that, and it's really funny because some of the key points that the Rob and his wife brought up, I'm crying even now because it's so poignant to me that they brought up things that I've been talking about this week, even to people in my personal life, like the exact wording and things. So it's like, I know that this information is being channeled through and it's true. But there was this concept that Michael Berg, the Rav, talked about we want, like when the shofar blows, or it blew this Sunday, the idea is that it blasts through and obliterates any influence that the opponent, that the Satan has over us, over our ego, keeping us in that life of the cycle of death over and over and over, instead of renewal, instead of that life of that higher version of the self where we can really expand into what we were meant to be and build and share and become all the things that we were meant to be, and reveal the Creator's light in this world at the level that we could do it if we weren't holding ourselves back, if we weren't in doubt, if we weren't distracted, if we weren't going around in the same cycles that keep us struggling and desperate and animal-like consciousness, just trying to survive, right? Just in defense mode, just in reactive mode, at like, the threats coming at me, the challenges coming at me of life, always, they're constantly going, right? So the shofar blast is to blast that small self, that ego self, the part that's so easy for the opponent to use to trip us up, right? We're obliterating the enemy when it's the belief, the myth, the mystical truth behind the blowing of the shofar is that when the Satan hears it, he becomes so fearful and confused and trembling because he thinks it's the final judgment day where he will be completely eradicated and there will be no more of him, and there will be no more pain and suffering and chaos, and there will be no more separation, and the world will be in total unity. The Mashiach, the Messiah, the Redeemer, we will be freed from any kind of slavery or bondage of the mind, body, or spirit. So the idea on Rosh Hashanah is to bring that level of consciousness in where you are left with nothing but what is eternal. And Michael Berg was talking about how, you know, what is left, if what is left is all that ever remains is eternal, right? Because everything has an expiration. Everything that's not true at a divine level, at a cosmic level, just fades away into dust. It has an expiration date. What's eternal lives on. The work, the things that we accumulate in our life, the houses, the cars, the accomplishments, the titles, it'll all fade away. Years from now, people will throw all that garbage in the dump and they won't remember any significance it had to you. It's just physical. They won't remember anything about why it was significant to your life. It's just physical. What will remain may be a legacy that you leave. What will remain, though, what's eternal, is the work that you did on your soul while you were here to elevate the sparks of light, to heal and elevate your heart, to heal and transcend the darkest parts of ourselves, to transform the pain that we've been through, to let that transform the darkness within us into light so that we can share that light with others, and that light can be contagious. And it begets more and more light and more love and more creation and more unconditional love and more faith and more certainty in others. That is eternal. When you share simple love with another person, that is eternal. When you share a moment of real authentic connection with someone that you felt made a difference, that is eternal. You know, the moments that really mean something, those special times with your family or a best friend or something that are precious, that you'll take with you, that you'll always remember. Those are eternal. The times that you have had a revelation or wisdom has come through or someone shared something that awakened you, that is eternal. Having an internal revelation of spiritual inspiration, divine inspiration, that is eternal. The things that we do on a spiritual level that change us from the inside out, that's permanent, that's eternal. Pure, simple love, pure, simple creator energy, certainty, faith. When we elevate like this, that never goes away. It's eternal. It's darkness that has been transmuted into light. And then the other point, one of the other points that he was making was that our prayer is that we can spend the year face to face with the Creator. There's 3 types of experience, I guess, was what they were getting at with the Creator. When you are back to back with the Creator, when you are facing the back of the Creator, and then when you are face to face with the Creator. When you're back to back with the Creator, you can't see the Creator. You can't see the Creator in your life. You don't know why anything is happening. You can't see the light. You can't see a way out. You can't connect with comfort or fulfillment or answers. You can't see any light, and you can't see any good, and you can't see a way to transform from a situation into better or stronger, or turn a situation around for the light. You only see darkness. You're only experiencing the darkness. The second is when you're facing the back of the Creator. And there's a verse in the Old Testament that goes, "You will know me by my hind parts." And I think it was God talking to Moses, and he said, "You will know me by my hind parts." And that means that you won't even know that I've been there until I'm gone. You will see me as I'm walking away. The situation that comes over you, you won't understand until hindsight, until you reflect on it. And so this is the kind of consciousness where upon reflection, you can see that God was there. You can see, okay, this did this for me. I was able to heal in this way from this. Me and this person shared this experience and this helped them ultimately, or it brought us closer, or it helped, in some way. You can find something about the situation or be able to reflect upon it and then transform later and find gratitude for it. That is when we see the Creator from the back as he's leaving. It's too late. He was already there. You just missed him. but it's still valid. You still saw and appreciate at some point, oh, okay, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing how the creator was involved in this. I can see the good. I can find the good. I can find the light in it, or I can connect with it somehow, or I can make it. I can bring light from the situation, because the creator is omnipresent and is in all things. And all I have to do is be conscious of that and activate it in that moment with certainty. Certainty that is Imuna level of faith. Imuna level of faith is faith beyond reason. I see the odds are against me. I see that this is stacked up against, I see the reality, but I don't accept the reality. I'm rising and transcending the reality, because I know that this is very malleable. It's just an illusion, and the eternal is the truth, and the eternal is pure light. And I know on a physical level, everything is made of pure light, and everything has the light in it. And so everything can be changed through our consciousness in every moment, and science backs that up too. So I want to be the person who didn't just miss the creator. I want my year to be absolutely filled with certainty, that I can see or choose to see or be able to catch myself before it's too late in any given moment and see the creator while the creator is there, so that I can be in the presence of the creator face to face. Not, oh, I just realized the creator's in the house and I ran in to see before it was too late. Oh, you just missed, the creator just left. You just missed it, because the situation, the hardest part of the situation is now over. And so we have to stop ourselves in the moment when it's the hardest to see the creator. That's when the creator is in the full force in the middle of the house, right? Get into the house. The creator is here now. The creator can only be seen and experienced in the present, to be present, to face what's happening around you fully at all times. And connect with the light in that moment. Maybe the opponent is bringing you a test, but the light is there in that moment, and you have a choice to connect with the light in that moment, and the light can move through that situation and foil your enemy and turn your enemy against you, or you turn your enemy on its head and then turn their plot that was meant against you on them, right? It can turn your enemy into your friend, your helper. You can hoisted by their own petard, right? So to live a year face to face with the creator means that you're in the harmony flow. You're in the Goldilocks zone, because no matter what's happening, you're like, it's all good. It'll all be fine. Creator's in control. I'm not in control. I do my best, but I do what I can. I do my due diligence as a responsible human being in this world. I do my due diligence as a servant of God, as a spiritual warrior. I show up, I do everything I can, but ultimately it's really just up to the creator, right? The deal is sealed, right? So having that trust, being present. The only time we can really experience unconditional love, the divine, that certainty is in the present moment. The past no longer exists. The future has not been created yet. Everything is happening in the present, in the eternal present. Okay. We've got duality, we've got God. What else is this on the cards for this week? So basically, I launched into our talks without introducing the video, but if you haven't watched before on a Sunday night, this is our weekly energy oracle forecast, where we take a look at the energy of the week ahead and figure out what kind of spiritual and energetic weather we'll be living in. Love. Ultimately, love lifted me. Love lifted me when nothing else could help. Love lifted me. So at the end of it all, we are trying to turn fear and darkness and lack and doubt into love, into unconditional love. The light of the creator is always shining, is always sharing, is always giving. It is unwavering. It is unfluctuating. It is eternal. And so hold on to the light and to love this week at the expense of your own pride, not at the expense of your own well-being, because sometimes love is setting a boundary. Sometimes it's taking up for the self, but let love lead this week. Love is not weak. Love is not a pushover. Love is not to be taken advantage of. Love can be very strong. Love can speak truth. But ultimately, it is from the consciousness of the light and the creator. So err on the side of love this week. Lean in to the higher self. What is your higher self leading you to do? Because we have a new soul, right? It is brand new. It is pure, fresh source energy coming through right now. So there's two things happening. The higher self wants to come out, and it's pushing up against the smaller self. So we're not going to be challenged this week. The opponent, all the light that's around us, the opponent is trying to intercept it and have us break our vessel to spill out everything that we just took in. So we need to stay on our game and focus on love and light this week. Connect with, like, if you read the Torah, if you read the Zohar, if you read Bible, if you read like anything that you can do to connect to positivity, to spiritual renewal, to spiritual revelation and growth. Keep your mind focused on that until Yom Kippur to seal in all the blessing, right? To make the most of it. This is like spiritual Olympics time of year. It's not tiring. I'm exhausted. Okay, I'm invigorated, but I'm also exhausted. Okay, let's get one last card for the week ahead. To cap us off. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Y'all remember that little boy? He's like, listen, Linda. Listen. Listen between the lines. Listen deeply with your heart. Openly listen with an open heart. Actively listen. Dig deeper to listen even harder. Listen as hard as you can. Listen to the small, faint urgings of the soul this week. All right? Let's get one more. Like, listen, there may be like people you need to hear out, or you may have to like have conversations, and there may be listening that you need to like really hear something, or listen with an open heart. But yeah, listening to spirit this week above all, and releasing all the old fears, the old self, the old limiting beliefs, the old patterns, the old toxic, painful lessons and cycles, all the things that aren't good for you, all the things that you know are keeping you in darkness, are thwarting your efforts of expansion and transcendence and evolution. Think about it. Like, how are you wanting to show up in your life? What if this year could be the greatest year of your life, or it could be nothing. You could do nothing with it. Something's very interesting, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to get out of the way. Old habits, old self, the whole old life is gone. This is a new story we're writing, a brand new, whole new story. So we really have to be willing as we move forward into this new year to be brand new, an infant. Do not go by your old patterns, your old habits. Be willing to do new things. Have a new level of curiosity, a new level of desire to go forward and find yourself again. But find this higher self, right? Go forward being in that. There was one more thing I was going to say about it. It was like releasing, letting go so new can come in. hate when I cut myself off and then I forget what I was going to say. And I'm like, no, I know. I remember what I was going to say. Letting go. Going forward. New story. There was something I was going to tell you guys. I was going to say. Yeah, just death and rebirth. We're being rebirthed. We're being born again anew. So go forward. Let go of the past. Let go of anything holding you back. Let go of old stories. It left me. I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back and I'll turn the video back on. But Shana Tova, happy new year, happy spiritual new year. Yeah, best of luck to us all. Godspeed. I'm still annoyed that whatever I was going to say slipped away. All right, well, whatever. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Please subscribe to the channel. Help me get out there into other people's algorithms and their suggestions and all of that. The more that you guys do, the more it helps. And I appreciate y'all so much for all of your comments and your shares and your subscribes and everything. And I'm sorry if I ever take a minute getting back. There's a lot in life going on, and then it just takes a lot to make the content and get it up. And so I try to keep up with the comments and things too. But yeah, they're always appreciated and very encouraging for me to continue on. Yeah, I hope that this year is a year where we can all expand more fully into our potential and be greater channels for the light, and we can start living that higher version of our lives that we know that is possible for us. All right, y'all, take care. Ciao.